My favourite type of music video are the ones that are filmed in one single shot, from beginning to end. Or at least they look like they have been. They're incredibly immersive, drawing you into the scene as they unfold minute after minute. And the sheer technical ingenuity required to pull them off is mind-blowing to think about. And if you try extending the concept out to a full-length movie, well, it's even more difficult. But it has been tried, and here are 5 of the best examples. Timecode is actually 4 one-shot movies filmed at the same time, with 4 cameras each following one character as the movie begins, and switching to others as it goes along. Instead of cutting between storylines like most movies do, this film fades the audio in and out to tell you which quarter of the screen you should be paying attention to. It's a great idea, but in practice it's a little overwhelming to watch, and a struggle to follow all the storylines. There's not much plot, mainly actors and directors holding auditions and having affairs, but any more would have been pretty impossible to follow. It actually works better on the DVD, where you can switch between the audio tracks at will, essentially directing your own version of the movie. So it's more successful as an interactive multimedia experiment than an actual movie. Like Timecode, this is also one shot from beginning to end, but it only uses one camera, so it's a lot easier to follow. It's a thoroughly immersive experience, putting you right up next to Leah Costa, who plays a young girl having a night out in Berlin and gets mixed up with some criminals. As with Timecode, the dialogue is largely improvised, but there's much more of a plot to follow this time. The downside is the length, nearly 2.5 hours long, which is a bit of a stretch. If it was filmed in a normal manner, it could easily have lost half an hour. But of course, in one take, that's the one thing you can't do. And so we come to the movies that aren't really one take, just lots of long takes pieced together. Silent House follows a young woman, played by Elizabeth Olsen of Scarlet Witch fame, as she investigates a haunted house, and gets more and more freaked out as the movie goes along. Elizabeth Olsen gives an amazing performance, but ultimately the film falls down at the end, due to several ridiculous plot twists. You can't help wishing the single-shot approach would be better off using a better story. Speaking of better stories, we come to Birdman, which won 4 Oscars, and is critically and commercially the best movie on the list. Although it uses the same format as Silent House, with multiple long takes edited together to make it look like one, this one doesn't even try to pretend it all takes place at the same time, as the action takes place over several weeks, and there's lots of obvious CGI effects, particularly in transitional scenes where the camera flies out of the window and over the city. But this all contributes to the dreamlike mood of the movie. Like Michael Keaton's character, you don't know what's real and what isn't. It's an excellent movie and well worth seeing. In recent years, several Japanese filmmakers have been experimenting with the one-shot genre. The most successful of these was One Cut of the Dead, which depicts the making of a zombie movie. But that doesn't fit into this category because the one cut of the title only lasts for about half an hour, the rest is the making of. But it's still, if you're interested in the genre, it's definitely one to watch. A film that does fit into this category is Beyond the Infinite 2 Minutes. This appears to be one single shot, although it does cheat like in Birdman, and it tells the story of a man who discovers that his computer screen shows what will happen in the cafe downstairs 2 minutes into the future. So there's a lot of running up and downstairs, showing people having conversations with themselves from both ends, but towards the end the film it does open up somewhat, and the humour of the characters do make it one to watch. Well, that's the video. Let me know in the comments if there's any examples I've missed. Next week I'll be talking about Paper Girls on Prime Video and comparing it to the comic. So if you like the sound of that, then subscribe. If you like this video, then press like. And I'll see you next time. Goodbye.